everybody. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Some serious pride on the line in this contest as these two divisional rivals take the field together for the first time this season. Almost a playoff atmosphere surrounding the game between these two bitter opponents. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Falcons.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Carry now for Doug Martin, and he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 21-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. He got 29 yards that time. First out, here's the run with Martin. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They run it again with Martin. And an alley to run. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. 3rd down and 3. From the gun, Winston. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I better raise my voice a little bit here because one thing we can already tell, even in the first year in the league with this new stadium, it's going to get loud in this place.
Yeah, the old place was loud, but I think we're getting a sense that this place is going to be louder.
Yeah, they're riding that momentum of that 2016 team that finished their year in the Super Bowl.
And that one will be no good. He never had it online. It's well wide to the left. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, Martin. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Doug Martin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Nick. Kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Coleman on the toss. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
This is Coleman. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the...
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. Off. They get the first. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll be first down Atlanta. Well, kind of interesting for sure. It worked out for them. They only had a yard to go. You know, when you do that fake punt, you're kind of starting back further than you need to when you only have 1 yard.
Yeah, and I guess they felt like that was a true full fake because most of the time with a yard to go, you leave your offense on the field, you run something from your playbook. But here, they gave the full impression they were going to punt it away and picked up the first down. They definitely surprised us.
I was going to say, surprise, surprise. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Shift together here from the D-line.
Hey, let's go.
On 2nd down, Ryan drops it off for Coleman. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They run again on first down. Martin. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Now Ryan. Finding Gabriel complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Ryan finding Gabriel for the Falcon first down. They go play action here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And it's caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Ryan will throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kendall Beckwith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Here's Ryan to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will and he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Well, if you haven't gotten enough football this Thanksgiving weekend, there's still more to come. Tonight,
yes,
you're pumped up. It's 2 of the most storied franchises in NFL history doing battle, the Packers and Steelers from Heinz Field. Then tomorrow night, more. Wrap up your Cyber Monday with the Texans at the Ravens from Baltimore.
Man, is it time to start shopping already?
Just go online, man. I said Cyber Monday. Click, click, click. Again, it's Martin. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Second down, Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And a 10th carry here for Martin. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Second down following the run. Winston with a give to Martin. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. On 3rd down, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few 1st downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Oh, he shifts past him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
Again, it's Coleman. And then before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try to get some more points.
Winston keeps it himself. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On second down, Martin. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Doug Martin, as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Coleman. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Coleman now. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. what I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Ryan now off the bootleg. Powers through. Found his target. It's Anderson. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
Now the Purdue man, this is Akeem Hunt. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
21.
Here's Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. He's at the 50. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
Now Ryan. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
First down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Noah Spence. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Looking to throw on second down. Ryan on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
The Falcons on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. To throw is Ryan. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Again, Ryan. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Levante David. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They run the counter with Martin. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. The other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. 6 yards to go here on 2nd down. They run with Hunt. And some room to work. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Ryan. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
Now it's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Now it's Ryan. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion. And now we're back to a 1-score game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd down following the run. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The rookie from UCLA, Tech McKinley. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into it. Not a good play at all.
Winston gives to the tailback, Martin. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Drops it off to Martin. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. They find some open field here. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They give to Martin. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They'll run it again with Sims. And he'll get this down only to the 18. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And off comes to Martin. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Toss play to Sims. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will extend their lead even further. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because as you...
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Victory formation. Here's down to a knee they go. The Bucs on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is third down and 12. Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Tampa Bay, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they go down to defeat for just the second time in 11 games so far. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.
Yeah, little fish. I say, Lord, be my savior when it comes to getting this paper. Please protect me from my haters.